we would have loved to have been here sooner, as it turns out.
You know, actually, I was thinking about that recently, that my time here since Monday morning, Monday midday, and of all the arrivals I've seen and all the people I've spoken to, there was one really poignant moment when you guys tied up next to the dock, and I'm bad for not knowing her name, but she had the baseball cap and the ponytails, and she was the youngest on the boat, right? 15?
Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie, thank you. When her mom came up to her, it was like, how was it? She's like, that was so cool, you know, like, that's like real, genuine enthusiasm that I wish I could have bottled it and captured it, and it was pitch dark, so, you know, it's seared into my head, and I thought it was so cool, and so it's how cool it must have been to be with the kids all the way down, huh?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was, I mean, it was for sure must have been an amazing learning experience for them. It was not a walk in the park of a race down. There was a lot going on, but they got to be a part of it, and I think everybody made it here in really high spirits and learned a lot along the way, loved it, and they're itching for the next thing. So it's good. It's like the best part of sailing. Yeah.
And it's not fair, because they got what people keep telling me was the best Bermuda race ever. It was downwind, and it was rough and stuff was breaking, but they kind of got it easy-ish their first time.
Yeah. In some ways, yeah.
Well, not easy, but they got it fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and there were, at least on our boat, we had enough breakages that there was a lot of MacGyvering going on that they got to kind of see and watch the process happen. And that's what a cool way to learn.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to go ripping around.
And you were coaching them and obviously and stuff like that. I mean, as a coach / onboard, like adult in the room, what was that balance of letting them make the mistakes? Because you got to make the mistakes to learn, right? Versus sort of just you want to win, right? Or you want to win-ish. Right?
Yeah, I guess for me, I've spent a lot of my life coaching on 50-foot cruising boats, so I'm with teens. I feel very comfortable letting them do something incorrectly, certainly within reason. But the other part of this actual race was I'm a Cat 3 sailor, so I was not permitted to drive the boat by the rules of the youth class. So that made it kind of easy. It wasn't like I could be a player. I was a coach, if that makes sense. Until things started breaking or we had majors, and then of course it was like I went up the rig on the first night.
You went up the rig, yeah. Come on, send the kid up the
rig.
Right,
a very good reason it was me and not
bad
someone
time
else.
to let the kid go up the rig,
Exactly. But they got to see that, and they got to see the process. We had to hotwire the engine, and so
now they know.
Now they know that's possible, and they got to sit with us while we had one of the girls, Lily, on board. She was there holding the jumper battery and talk through hey, this might spark, here's the fire extinguisher, somebody's right there. She got the whole process.
Actually, and he's the interview that we did here with Alex, and I mean, we've done a lot. I've started to lose track, but somebody asked me who was my favorite so far, and I'd almost say it was Alexander. It's cool.
Yeah.
But, the kids have true enthusiasm. Us adults are just, it's like, that was a cool race, but.
No, their stoke level was very high the whole way. It was good.
Yeah. Had a good sleep. I bet they were pretty tired.
Yeah, I actually think they didn't really sleep that first night in, or even the second night, because we got in the middle of the night. Because they were just excited to be here and have the energy, and there weren't that many boats on the dock when we got here, so which was great. We got here fast, and so it was cool for them to see all these other boats coming in after them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you are a Cat 3. You are a pro sailor. What do you do most of the time?
I do a lot of TP52 racing out on the Great Lakes circuit in the U.S. So I sail on a team out there that I've sailed with the last 4 seasons.
Which one?
WindQuest.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then M32s, some other places that I've been sort of in the right place at the right time with the RC44s, some of the super series stuff, kind of anything that I can get my hands on, say yes to. Yeah. Last year I sailed the NACRA all year. And
that's right.
Yeah, so kind of gave the Olympic campaign thing a go, and
that's
for me,
hard
not
boat to
quite.
sail, though, isn't it? Yeah.
It was a cool boat. I love the boat.
It's cool, but it breaks you.
It wasn't the right. I love so many other parts of the sport. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anything I can get my hands on, basically.
Cool. And one of those sports, obviously, is this distance racing thing you got going on now. So at some point, today is Thursday. Lost track again. We got Friday, Saturday. So on Sunday, is that what it is? You guys are and you have a co-skipper.
Yeah, co-skipper Kat Hunt. She is British female sailor.
And you guys are going to do what I understand is a new race from here back to.
Yeah, back to Newport. So it's effectively the same course as the Newport Bermuda race, but a double-handed, or I believe there is a single-handed division as well for the return. So this is the first year they're doing it, and it's awesome. It's so good. All the boats are already down here. Why not?
Yeah. Why cruise when you can race?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So you guys, you're taking the Sunfast 3300 Alchemist, right? Which Glenn Walters at Blue Nose sailed down with. Who did he sail with?
He sailed with his son.
His son.
And then 2 other guys on board. Yeah. So, and they had a ripping run down.
Yeah. Have you sailed the Sunfest before?
I've sailed it once for a couple of days, but not this particular boat. So, yeah, there'll be a learning curve for sure.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
How many boats are doing the race?
The last I saw on the entry list, there were about 20 boats registered. So that I believe people can enter still because it's the first edition. They kind of want anybody who wants in to have the opportunity to race.
You got till Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Friday. Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's got to be some day where are they doing the same safety inspections, all that kind of stuff, or they just presume that
boats that race down, there is a different safety protocol if you did not race down.
Gotcha.
But if you race down, they roll it over effectively.
Yeah. But I imagine 100% for the fleet boats.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right, so you've done your weather rounding, and what's it looking like?
Looks pretty light. Looks very light. I think the last I saw for us was an average boat speed of like 7 knots.
Got some good books?
Don't have any books. Have some music.
Music?
Yeah.
Maybe one book.
Maybe I should. Maybe a book would be the thing to
I don't have
have.
any recommendations, but actually I did recommend one to Reeves Potts the other day called the Barefoot Bandit.
I've never heard of it.
Highly recommend it. How do you set up for a race like that you've never done, going the opposite way?
Yeah.
Like mindset-wise, you know?
I think for me it's about kind of controlling what I can control and being extremely meticulous in the planning. I'm definitely a planning management personality, so I like the act of kind of when I do the weather routing, and I can overlay the time estimates for how long I think it'll take for us to get from different parts of the race, and knowing, okay, we need to likely charge our batteries at these intervals, and effectively making checklists for every section of the race so that when you're tired and you're double-handed, you know what was the last thing that happened, and it stops you kind of dropping the ball.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of writing it all down. By the time we're ready to race, if you come down to Alchemist, you'll see I'll have like electrical tape all over in the cockpit with little notes and reminders and things to check. If you're jibing at night, make sure that you've done X, Y, and Z first.
Yeah.
Before you tack, have you switched your water ballast? Those things that if you miss them, it's a real bummer.
Water hates going uphill.
Yeah, it turns out not that easy. Yeah.
And Kat, have you ever paired up together, or is this a full?
I've sailed with her once, but not double-handed. We did when they were going to have potentially double-handed offshore in the Olympics. Her and I were at a British sailing team training camp, because I'm also British. So that was how.
I would have never.
Yeah. I know.
Good job hiding the accent. Yeah.
So that was how we met, and that was the first time we sailed together. And then, since then, she's in a bunch more double-handed stuff, as have I. And this opportunity came up. I thought, perfect.
Do you hope, or do you think the double-handed thing will go somewhere for you? Are you on a pathway to something, or a Vendée campaign? Are you looking for money?
My dream has always been to race around the world.
Yeah.
So that has been the reason I got into professional sailing in the first place. So I would love to do that, and maybe that takes the form of like the Class 40s have a double-handed race around the world starting at the end of 2023.
Is that the Globe 40?
Yeah, it's called the Race Around. Race Around. There is the Globe 40, but that's a different.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of them, but so that's something that's on my kind of bucket list, or I'd love to do it fully crewed.
Yeah.
But with the current rules of the ocean race, I'm in a kind of a weird age. I'm too old for the youth rules, but haven't been around before, so I don't have enough experience for some of the other positions. So we'll see what happens, but that's the goal.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a bummer about it. This going to the Avoca 60s and down to 5, you're like, well, that just eliminated half the chances for all the people that want to do it. You know, back in the day when you could have 10 viewers opportunities.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that race, the rules of that game change every edition. So who knows what it'll look like 3 years from now.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, you got a long race back to Newport ahead of you.
Yeah.
So you got to get a book. And how do people follow you?
So people can follow us, both of us, on Instagram is probably the easiest way. We'll be kind of any pictures that we take, we'll be tagging Blue Nose Yachts and Jeanneau America and kind of going from there.
Well, are they going to give you a satellite and a data plan to get some stuff off the boat?
Yes, we do have that.
Excellent. Good. Okay. Well, it is going to be right, so it's going to be light and stuff like that. This stuff is like pre-made in a can, so.
Pack it in our bilge. Just kidding.
Take that with you.
Just kidding, Glenn. We're not doing that.
You might need it, just in case. You never know.
We'll need it when we cross the finish line,
exactly.
whatever time we get there.
That's a little piece of Bermuda that you can bring home with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So final question from here. It's a flipped mindset. The 3-stage race is different. So you got to go the long way to the stream.
Yep.
You got to somehow get to the stream, and then you got to finish. So what's the reverse flipped tactical play to get back to Newport from here?
Basically, right now it looks like stay with the pressure. It looks very light. So hopefully some of the weather models will come into better agreement over the next 24, 48 hours. But right now, we're just gonna see what we can do. We're gonna go and we're gonna see. So on the race down, they blew up their A4. Which is also kind of their A2 with the current sail plan, and we're actually all right with this current weather. Under 13 knots, we can use the A15. Over 13 knots, our next sail is an A5. So
simplifies your sail choice.
It definitely does. We got a big hole.
You took away the middle. You're good.
Yeah.
All right. So it's one or the other.
And if it's more wind than that, we got to play to what sails we do have, and play our angles off of that. So.
Excellent.
We'll see.
Well, have a great race back. We'll be following on the Instagram, and I guess we'll have to be there when you get there in Newport. What's your ETA?
It's looking like July 1st, I think. Hopefully, I would love to say June 30th, but I think that could be punchy.
All right. July 1st, Castle Hill, sunrise route, maybe sunset. Everybody out there drinking their sunset
maybe
cocktails
it'll be
at Castle
June
Hill.
30th at sunset. How good would that be?
All right. Well, if you get there, I will definitely be at Castle Hill.
Awesome.
And we'll lob you another one if you're right.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, thanks, Sarah. Have a great race.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Cheers.